It's my AR-15. We're still doing bullet buttons until July, so anyway. This is a Aimpoint Comp ML-2. It has a 4-minute dot. And a friend of mine, who's no longer in this hellhole of California, made his way back to Oklahoma. Home! Had a Carcano rifle, and we were kind of checking up on it and seeing what it was about. And I was impressed with the sight system on the Carcano. It's set so that, you know, anywhere from like 50 to 600 meters with the ballistic rise and drop of the bullet as it travels its arc to the target. Every time you shoot, the bullets, they go up and then they come down. Gravity pulls them back down. So the deal is they set the sights on that gun. They designed the sights so that if you put the irons on a man's chest, just at his shoulders, the bullet would hit low at 50 meters, and all the way up to 600 meters, it would hit that arc and come back down to about where it was at 50. Maybe it was 500 meters, I can't remember. But for the set range on the Carcano, what the bullet was good for, the sights were set so that you didn't have to adjust for elevation for the arc travel of the bullet. So what I wanted to talk about was the 4-minute dot on this. And in case you don't know, 4 minutes, what that means is at 100 yards, which is where the paper is on this range, at 100 yards, the dot covers 4 inches. Okay? So as you go out, that doubles at 200, it triples at 300. This dot will cover 12 inches at 300. At 400 yards, this dot will cover, or appear to cover, 16 inches. Okay, at 400. You see that dot wherever it covers. The dot's parallax free, which means you don't have to line it up with anything. Wherever the dot is, it's like a holograph. Wherever the dot is, that's where the bullet's supposed to hit. It's lined up with the bore axis of the gun. So anyway, where that dot's at right now is about 180 meters. That dot's covering 8 inches. Okay? When I come up here, woo, right? Yeah, there we go. There's the dot. Yeah, when you come up here to 400 meters, that dot is covering 16 inches. And 16 inches is pretty good. So here's the deal. Came out, ranged it out. This is called dope, right? A lot of you guys know this stuff. And dope stands for data on previous engagements, which means I shot a boatload of ammunition. So this dot at 100 meters covers 4 inches, and that's where the bullet strikes. There's just enough of a drop on these rounds, 5.56 rounds, that at 200 meters I can put the dot right on, and the bullet's striking somewhere inside of this now 8-inch dot. Okay, probably right around here, but I can hit steel with it pretty regular, which I'll show you here in just a minute. Okay, when I get out to 300 meters, the bullet hits like right here compared to the dot. Now this is a 12-inch it's covering. See, the further out you go, the bigger around the dot appears, and it's automatically adjusting basically for the ballistic drop that I'm getting at that range. So I put this dot on a target at 400 meters. If I put a slight gap between the dot and the top of the target, right? Mr. Chicom, who came over my hill, is having a very bad day, because that bullet's going to strike anywhere from here to about here, depending on the drop. But it's going to happen in here somewhere, and all I had to do was put that dot out there. But because that dot is parallax free, and because the minutes of angle on the dot on that scope are 4 inches at 100 meters and on as described, it automatically adjusts for me, and I just aim a little bit higher. So, take 3. I'm going to give this one more go, guys. There was a guy with a 22 down the range here, which I don't know why he's not at the 22 range. He probably just didn't know better. But anyway, him shooting was interfering with the reports of the bullet striking steel. I did this the first time. I missed about 40% of the shots I took. That's me being lazy and just not doing a good job. I did it the second time. I probably missed 10% of the shots. But I was listening to the playback just now, and I could hear him shooting as my reports would have been coming back. And that's no good. So anyways, we'll try this one more time. There is a little bit of gunfire down at the pistol range. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to start. There's a head sights target. It's a little bit smaller than a human head, hanging at 180 meters. Then I'm going to step over to 200 meters. Then I'm going to go out to 300 meters. And then I'm going to go out to 400 meters. And I'll take my time this time, try to make a little bit better shots. But again, the point is to show on a 16-inch carbine length M4 style barrel, that 4-minute dot, you can walk this thing at 50 meters all the way out to 400 meters. And the way I showed you in the little dirt diagrams we did there, the way I showed you in the little dirt diagrams, you just have to hold over a little bit because of the size of the dot and how it appears at the different ranges that we're doing. So all right, let's do it. That's 180 and 200. This one's like 220 something. Wink. Last round. 220, 230. We'll hit that a couple more times. Do that. All right. Going out to 300. I threw that one. Calm down, slow down, all that, right? Let's go out to 4. I threw that one right over that target. I'm knocking all my little junk off. Alright, 2 more magazines, 16 more rounds. Let's do it. 400. Through that last one again too. I threw a couple of those. The other thing I need to do is slow down. You can't hear it if I shoot the next shot. Alright, last magazine, 800. I hope you can hear those. So here's the fun part is we have to pin our magazines so that they only hold 10 rounds. And when I bought these, I didn't know it. They pinned them. If you put 9 rounds in there, the gun will tend to bind up. If you put 10, it'll absolutely malfunction every time. If I put 8, I have 0 problems with these. So in California, 8-round magazines, which is lame. These are 20-round magazines. But on the bright side, anybody that knows how to use a drill motor knows that that's a pop rivet. You pop that out with a drill motor like right now, and fully functional magazines. Because the thing is, guys, gun control doesn't work. Those of us who have a little bit of intelligence and a little bit of know-how can get around that crap. So here's your gun control. I have 20-round magazines. All I have to do is put a little effort into it. Anyways, that's a political rant. This barrel right here is a problem. All right, well, there it is. That's everything from 20 yards all the way out to 400 on that red dot. Highly recommend a 4-minute red dot on a or green dot. They make green dots now too. Highly recommend these Aimpoint sights. Great sight. All right, guys. Good show. Catch you on the next one. Later.